The Michael Libercci. How are you today, man?
Good, Dr. Jake Clendenning. I am feeling fantastic. Another episode of Total Disruption.
Yeah, man.
There really is no better thing. I'm sure you disagree or somebody would disagree, but I'm not going to disagree. There's no better thing than when we start going with Total Disruption. I love it. Live for it.
Yep, totally agree with you, man. So, all right. So here's the topic that we've been talking a lot about in this last week. So we heard it a bunch on this last Friday. We just came off of an amazing another virtual conference event, another 6 hours of amazing speakers that brought spectacular value about maximizing your life. You guys want to check that out? It's going to be on YouTube. Go like and subscribe to the channel. You can watch the whole conference at your convenience if you were too lazy to see it live. But it was awesome. So one of the things that came out of that, and I want because we didn't get a chance to talk about this a whole lot, was celebrating your wins. How do you keep winning? This kept coming up, and I really want your perspective on this because you've got the professional perspective, you've got an athletic perspective, you've got a personal development perspective. I want to hear them all. So how do we keep winning, Mike?
All right. Well, I'll cover that. And the cool thing, I'll come back to what you said about our conference, right? Cool thing about the people we always find. This is one hack on how you keep winning. Find great people and have them talk about where they were, how they got that decision, where they're going, where they're at, and what they can do for you, right? There's the magic formula. Not it's no science on finding amazing human beings, right? And we did. We found what, like 6 or 10 or some great amount of speaker. I can't even remember how many. It was an unbelievable men, women, different ethnicities, different locations in the world, all different kinds of things, right? You can learn something from everyone. Okay. So number one, no, you can learn something from everyone. And number two, great people doing great things. And number three, recognize the things you have done and be proud of them. Yeah, every once in a while, it's okay to boast. Every once in a while, in a real tactful manner, it's okay to exchange the things you have done. It is really okay. Because at some point, you or someone else has got to tell your story, has got to tell what you've done, especially if you're trying to influence people, especially if you're trying to help other people. They need to know, right? And you need to know. Not everything is Conan pushing that wheel in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where, everyone's dying off the Conan and no one sees how gigantic he's gotten until he goes out and starts to, fight barbarian battles. Then all of a sudden, this little kid is now this gigantic barbarian. Well, fine. If that you want that to be you, at some point, the barbarian who's gotten really big has got to go out there and prove his or herself to the world. You stay winning. You stay on the flip side by recognizing and never forget where you came from and never forget your journey. You can't forget the journey. And I'll let you dissect that a little bit, Jake. But I'm going to tell us our story, right, for our audience. I'm definitely going to tell our story to our audience, and in the way I laid it out to somebody who we talked to. So when I talk about all that, man, what is your breakdown of all that? I mean, am I on a manic high here, or do I make sense?
No, you make sense, and of course, I understand the language that you speak, so I totally get it. But I want to break down. Let's talk about the journey. Let's talk about that because the reality is every decision you've ever made has led you to where you are right now. I'm going to say that again. Every decision you've ever made has led you to where you are right now. You are exactly where you are supposed to be because of the decisions you made. Now, that's going to land hard with some people because they're going to be like, well, my situation, this person and that person and the other person. No, get this through your head from a mindset perspective. You're the one in charge. Nobody can make you do a dang thing, plain and simple. You make every decision. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. That said, you have the conditional control to be anywhere you want to be. your decision making. That's where Mike's talking about celebrating the small wins along the way. What worked? What worked? How did I get to this win? We just celebrated a small one, with one of Mike's kids got a small win out of it. Not even an athletic thing, but it was cool. We celebrated it. It was awesome because it's important to celebrate the small wins. I had a nightmare week last week. Brutal, brutal, punishing week. What did I choose to focus on? The small wins, like the things that came out of it. And Mike knows I called him several times and like, I need some coaching here, man. I need you to reach out to me in this space. What is it? I had some great opportunities to spend some time with some great people. I have a father-in-law who's now healthier than he was before last week. I have a daughter that's still here. Like, let's get real serious about what this, and some of those may not sound like small wins, but they're a win and we have to celebrate them. And the reason we do that is from a neuroscience perspective. And I'm going ballistic on this, and I do. It's a neuroscience thing. What my favorite coaching quote, everybody knows it, everybody loves it, or they hate it depending on how I use it. What you focus on expands. Like,
Yep.
and let's look at, there was a book, is it Relentless? The years ago that Michael Jordan's coach wrote that book. His personal development coach wrote that book, and it was all about you practiced to win. Michael Jordan practiced to win every single day. He was in the gym 4 o'clock in the morning, doing the things every single day. And even he said it. I played 110% in practice so that I only had to show up for like 40% at the game. Like, practice was way harder than the game. He practiced to win. So when I say practice to win, yes, we're celebrating the wins. What are you hearing for practice to win, Mike?
Well, if I recently did a little deep dive on a few athletes just to figure out some practice ideas mentally. It's no secret my kids play baseball, which is 98% mental. And Alex Rodriguez, former third baseman for the New York Yankees, he was talking about, hey, has a 120% rule. He said your practices should always be harder than your games. And when you have somebody like in baseball that can run really fast, he said he would have, as a defensive player, he would have a person with a stopwatch. He would have a person at first base, second base, and he would time a runner, and he would have to execute a certain point in the runner can make it there in 4 seconds. He was doing the play in 3 seconds. He practiced 10 to 15 times in a row at executing this play same day before the game because he knew a certain player was in the game. We're talking 3 seconds, 4 seconds in the middle of a heated thing, and it worked, right? It worked. Does it work every time? No, but it worked. The idea worked. It's the 120% rule. You got to practice at the level you want to be and occasionally beyond. Now, is it okay to always practice out of control? No. But you need to figure that out of control out, which means sometimes you're going to be working at 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes you're going to go, maybe I'm not going out tonight and I need to check my website. Or I'm going to go for that walk, or I'm going to go for that jog, or I'm going to not eat this certain thing, or I'm going to put the phone down and spend some time with the kids. You've got to go beyond the threshold that you've artificially set for yourself, or what you think is the level. And in my athletic and personal development world, sometimes you need to focus on that thing 15 to 20 times a day. I have what I call self-sabotage takeover autopilot. If I am not careful, I will self-sabotage my life to the nth degree. I'm an experiential individual. I will go out and I will go walk, hike, explore, hang with friends, do whatever, because I get great value out of living life. But at the same time, if I've got things I need to get over to you, if I've got clients to fulfill, if I've got invoices to fulfill, yeah, I know you can always outsource everything, but at some point you've got to pull the pin, and that 120% means to dial that back a little bit and dig in. So let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about how you stay winning and how do you know when to say when? Where are you? Or you know what, actually, why don't we table that? Why don't you talk about helping other people win? And why don't we talk about the guild real quick before we go into that topic?
Yeah. So the guild is our membership platform. It is what produces the revenue that runs this show, that builds the things. And I don't want to lie about that. It also feeds our philanthropic. There's a nice word for today. Our charity organizations. That's what fills those buckets. So Michael and I made the choice before the conference last week, and we're going to extend it to those of you that were not part of the conference. That lifetime membership to the guild, $19 a month. That you can be part of the guild, and you can have all the pieces and parts and the toys, and you can have everything that is in the background that you don't get to play with here. You get the bonus episodes, you get the VIP experience at the conferences, all of the extra stuff and things, as well as monthly mentorship with Mike and I. So we get that. We do those group coaching sessions, call them what they are, that we're doing on a monthly basis. We will extend that to the offer to you. It is good this week. So make sure that you get that squared away, because that cart will close by Friday. You guys are listening to this live on Sunday, and this will close Friday, the 23rd of May. So normally we try to make these real evergreens that they go on forever. This one's got a deadline. Cart's going to close on that day, $19 a month, lifetime membership. It'll never go up on you.
Right. Well, the guild will always be open for membership, but just not at this price.
Just not at this price again.
So I was telling somebody, the journey that you and I have been on in the short amount of time that we have gotten where we are, right? We're grateful for our audience for the downloads. We're grateful for our audience for the attending our conferences, watching Boardroom Battleground, watching our show, getting mentorship from people like us, where it's just honest to goodness transfer of information and really real coaching, really real mentorship, problem solving, no fluff, straight street stuff, ideas, tactics, and ways that you can do things quickly, effectively, honestly. That's what we're offering with this guild membership. That's our give back, right? That's our thing. We want to help you win. We want to help you stay winning. This is our lane. This is why we broke off from the things that we were doing and we went down this road. So the guild, right? You go to www.total-disruption.com. Look up the guild, figure it out. There's a QR code underneath me right here. If you're watching this, click this QR code. It goes right there. And that's it, man. All right, I'm good on the guild. Everybody, come by, hang out, get involved. We want to see you there. So let's get back to the original question here about how to stay winning. When I talk to you about having limits, when I talk to you about, all right, man, how do you know when to stop living life, right? Or at what point, like, I know for a fact, no billionaire just plays all day. I know for a fact no ultra wealthy person just does nothing. Maybe some sort of grandkid does, but no person that has generated the wealth does nothing. How do you know, Jake? Let's take this as a coaching moment in the time we have together. How do you know? How do you know? Teach me, tell me, teach us, Dr. Clendenning.
Okay. I want to lead into that with a current story that I'm aware of, that we're talking about in this. How do we keep practicing to win? We're aware of the 4-minute mile, that once upon a time there was a gentleman that decided, I can do it. I can push past what the perceived limitation of human limitations is. And it was believed at that time, it couldn't be done physically by a human being, that a mile could be run in under 4 minutes. Believed that. He broke it down into segments and he beat it. He beat it, right? He beat it by like a second. I think it was like 3:59 and change, but he beat it. What happened immediately after that Everybody and their brother beat it. All of a sudden they saw, oh, it can be done. And everybody beat it. And now we're running like these sub 330, 340 minute miles. Here's something interesting that's currently happening. No woman has ever broken the 4-minute barrier yet. Note what I just said. No woman has broken the barrier yet. There is a woman that's making a play at it. She is going for breaking the 4-minute mile barrier for women. And she has to do it differently than the guy did it. So he did it by breaking it into 100 meters. All he had to do was run sub 1 minute 100-meter dashes, put them all together. She's doing it a little bit differently. She's going to put in place a pace car, but she's doing it with a sub 4, somebody that can't just her. It can't be a 330 runner. Somebody that consistently runs that like 358 mile that can do it. She's putting them in front of it. She's putting a rabbit right in front of her. Until this moment, it was believed it couldn't be done. She has decided there's a different way to go about it. The way she previously has gone about it didn't work, but this may very well. And I'm excited to see what happens. So I say that to say this. How do we know what our limitations are? We don't. We do not know what our limitations are. We can't even conceive what our limitations are. Everybody's different. And here's the deal, dude, you're limitless. Every single person that's listening to this in some capacity or another believes that you've hit a glass ceiling, a fake wall, a phony boundary. That's all I can do. I've given all I can give, 110%. No, you've probably actually given like 80. There's more. I promise you. And we've got, we know this. We've got friends that are Green Berets. We got friends that are Navy SEALs. We have friends that are insane Uber athletes that do incredible things. We've got friends that are business owners and influencers that are just doing epic, epic things. And there's been plenty of times, and you've heard me say this before too, Mike. Everybody on this call, if you think you have hit a limit, here's what I'm going to tell you. You ready? I had to do, one of my friends does this all the time. He like runs at the camera to make a point. So you ready for it? You are settling for good when great is on the table. Good enough is not great. Good enough is not great. That's what I want to say about it, man. You're limitless. So how do we know we're there? If it killed us, we went too far.
I think you've maxed out the cliche self-help quotes. I love it. You're right, though, man.
Put that out there, man.
You're right. Hey, man, you got to put it out there because somebody has to. So, all right. So we're talking about limitless, great, blah blah blah. Somebody might be like, man, this is total crap. Like, what are these guys talking about? Super ethereal.
Limitations.
Super ethereal, right? Like, this is all bullshit. What are the tactics here? All right. Here's the deal. It's ugly, and you've got to sit there. And at one point, either when your feet hit the ground in the morning and you're sitting there, you've got to start programming your brain to what it is you want to do. If you want to hire a coach or get in the guild or do whatever to get your pace car ahead of you, I think that's a brilliant idea, right? Fresh idea. Awesome. But it starts, stops, lives, and dies with you. You've got to program your brain, align your actions, do the things, just the micro steps. I just said it earlier today. Some days, man, I have got to resist every 8-9 minutes on F it. I don't feel like doing this. Some days I just have to do it all day, all night. I don't know. I could sleep perfectly. I could eat, fish and broccoli all day. I could drink filtered water, sit in a red light sauna, do a cold plunge, and nothing gets in the way of the chemicals flowing in my brain that are lifelong pattern, whether I inherited it from my dad or whether I got it from my mom or whether it was taught to me because I watched too much television or I have ADHD, whatever the long-winded crapple the story is as to what the hell could be causing this, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't care about why I have to fight it. All I know is that I have to fight it. And Not everything's wrong all the time. I just know that there's certain days I just have to fight it. And so do you, our friends listening here. So do you, right? And now when you say fight it, when you hear me say that, I mean, what does you live with, man, while we're on this?
So you and I've talked about this before, and your technique is pause. Like you've got it built into your universe of taking the pause and stopping. And you've got that built in. That's one of your techniques. One of my techniques is affirmations and well, my primary one is gratitudes. My primary reset tool for those days that I'm just in the F it mode. And I promise you, for the last 10 days, 24/7, I was in the F it mode. No question about it. I was there. And I can't even begin to tell you, but my primary tool, I just about broke it. I used it so much, and it moved it, and it's gratitudes. What am I grateful for? That was a good cup of coffee. What am I grateful for? That's a nice sunrise. Does it have to be world peace? Does it have to be something massive? No. You just need to simply say the word, I am grateful for, fill in the blank. It will change your chemistry. It will change the neural paths that are there. That's a tool that I use. That's one of my favorites. Affirmations are a great one. An affirmation journal, I go back and I read it all the time. And again, everybody's like, this is bullshit. This is just all fluff. And no, it's not. This is neuroscience. This is the stuff that we're using. It just sounds, in the way that Mike and I are describing this, a little bit of kind of sounds fluffy. It may, but that's not what this is. The stuff works. Those are tools I use. Mike uses the pause all the time. I use gratitudes. That's one of my primary tools, short of breath work. I've got some
Well,
very specific circle breathing breath work that I use when I get really sideways. So I mean,
well,
there's tools.
they're tools, but there's also that attitude that you harvest and cultivate that attitude, and
You
you
have to
don't have
build over time. You have to make the choice to get there, and you have to build that attitude.
and you can install the attitude immediately, and you have to sustain it, but you can install the attitude immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I until it's part of the success DNA, right? You're going to be successful at something. You're going to be successful at hanging out, or you're going to be successful at getting out of whatever you're in and going to wherever you want to be, or maintaining whatever you have, or building whatever it is you have. It's that attitude. And you can't do it alone. You can cultivate it and sustain it alone. I mean, it's really difficult to do it alone. But the more you practice and the more you fight through the web and cobwebs and the junk, the better it does become. And even if it's ugly constantly, it's better looking than where you came from. It's not 100%, but it's 100% better. You use that all the time. It's not 100%, but it's 100% better. And sometimes that's all you're going to get. So as we move down this, let me tell this story. As you know, obviously you know this, we're for our various different enterprises looking for a few outside salespeople. And I was going through it with an old friend, trying to solicit this person to begin down the path of potentially becoming an outside salesperson, her and partner and their firm. And as I'm rattling through, right, what we've accomplished, this is kind of the generation of this story today, what we've accomplished about, okay, fine. We've created a show. We've created a podcast. We've served people. Our message means something. We've coached people. We have a group of people we work with. We have contestants on our battleground show. We've written a book. We're in the process of writing another book. We've got X number of views. I was really, really proud of the fact that I could actually have a conversation with somebody to where I'm not in proof of concept. I'm not upstart. And I'm looking to either work alongside, we are working to work alongside with somebody, brand them, help them grow with us, and create a partnership. Man, what a different conversation. What a different conversation than I've had in the past. There is nothing more fulfilling than being able to talk to somebody about coexisting, helping them, and by at the same time, a little bit of pat yourself on the back for your accomplishments. But it all comes from servicing people, right? Like what we're trying to do. So let me bounce that off of you, and then we'll beat it up and get it out of here because we're running out of time.
And it's true. And we're a good story of the example. Was it all flower and roses and fluffy bunnies to get where we are? No, God, no. There was all kinds of ugly, all kinds of ugly. And yet we celebrated the little wins along the way, all the way across the way. When we got our first 1,000 downloads, man, that was a big deal, man. We're really proud of ourselves for doing it. And we had to say it. We made a point of saying it. Like we called each other, we did the thing. Hey, we hit a milestone. We did something cool. We got bestseller status on the first book. Milestone. We did something cool. Every the time you can celebrate a win, and then by the time, guess what happens when you have 10 wins you get to celebrate? You just created a really sexy resume that you're able to have a different conversation with somebody such that you can go, and I won here, and I won here, and I won here, and I won here. I didn't win here, but I played hard here. I played hard here and I learned something here. And I took the feedback there, which led me to the win here. That's how you use the wins to again, it's influence. Influence is leadership. As we are, every time we see a need, we fill a need. We figure out how to facilitate a thing. Mike talked about the new book that we're writing up that we've got, the KLT formula. That's going to be out mid-July. Look for that book. We're really excited about this one. This is a culmination of a year's worth of effort to put this together. That is, honestly, I'm really stoked about it. I can't wait to see where this one goes. You guys are going to hear more about that. So look for that book release mid-July. So that's a win. And is it bestseller yet? No, sure not. Is it drafted? Did we get the book written? Yeah, that's a win. Like it's there. We're in edit. Yay, that's cool. Like celebrate every milestone along the way, and you will teach yourself to win all the time. You're practicing to win.
All right. Well, thank you, Jake. And on behalf of Jake Clendenning, I'm Mike Libercci. It's now your turn to disrupt.